Do I not know who Fonzie was? Played by Henry Winkler.
Welcome back, Mother Puckers, to another episode. I am Danger, your host, and I am joined by the always lovely Dee and the slick-backed hair Fonzie wannabe Chris today.
Fonzie wishes he looked this goddamn good. Do I not know who Fonzie was? Played by Henry Winkler. Yes, I have seen Happy Days.
Hey, jeez, don't yell at me. You looked at me like I was crazy and you didn't know who I was
More
referencing.
Of the disrespect. The Fonz wishes his hair looked this good.
Anyway, we've got a stacked show for you today. We've got some playoff chaos, PWHL, news, community stories, some injuries, fines, and some unhinged, maybe, takes on offside opinions, as always. So, I want y'all to settle in, grab a drink, and let's get into it. Chris, hit us with the trivia question of the week.
Well, my curious brain got the best of me again.
Oh, no.
The Carolina Hurricanes, as we will discuss, are just whipping ass and taking names. They are currently 8-0. They have swept both rounds. So it's got me thinking.
Oof.
Has there ever been a team to sweep all 4 rounds? While it has never happened in the modern 16-win cup format that we have, the 4-round format, can you tell me what the least amount of losses is for one team in the Stanley Cup playoffs? Just one team. I don't need to know the team. I don't need to know, just what do you think the team, like, with the least amount of wins is? Or, like, what do you think that number is?
All right.
And remember, don't Google it or I will find you.
With the least amount of losses.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Least amount of losses. So the teams that have won the most.
Did I say wins? I meant losses. Yeah. But
anyway,
I did find it a little surprising that hasn't happened yet, that a team has swept every round. That I have found shocking.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody lock in your guesses. Again, no cheating, no Googling, no phoning a friend. But we will get the answer at the end. Now, let's get into some news. Kicking things off with the PWHL because the league said playoffs and an expansion. Sure, why not? Dee, why don't you take that away?
Yeah, absolutely. So first, we're going to start with where we are with the playoffs. So we had a fantastic game. Michaela Cava scored at 1 minute and 12 seconds of the second overtime period to put the Ottawa Charge into the Walter Cup Championship. We are still waiting to hear who their opponent will be. Unfortunately, there was supposed to be a decisive game last night, but due to some health and safety concerns, that game had to be postponed because of symptomatic players. I believe they were kind of vague with some of the information they put out on this, but because of the delay, they're not playing the game tonight. And this will determine whether or not we will see the Montreal Victoire or the Minnesota Frost move on into the Walter Cup Championship Series to play the Ottawa Charge. So potentially, I mean, it started like right now. So maybe there's no shot that by the end of the recording we'll know, but we'll find out by the time we air this episode, just in time for you to have to Google it yourself. Chris will let you Google that, to be clear.
Yes.
You can
Google
I will. For sure. The other exciting news was that we have announced our first official expansion team. There could be anywhere from 1 to 4 expansion teams. The PWHL has not committed to a firm number of teams that they're going to be bringing in this season. But they did announce that our next league is coming to Detroit. So they will, again, this is following the typical format of they're just telling us the city. They're not telling us any of the names or anything like that. I think that they have unveiled the colors, which are black and silver, complemented by white as a secondary color and red as an accent. So black and silver is pretty dope. I have to say, in the announcement banner, red was, definitely more of an accent than anything else, and there was not a hint of silver. So I was not concerned, but confused when I read that their color palette was what it was. But it makes sense for Detroit, for Motor City, to keep the red and white as the boys have, but to add the black and silver. That checks out. It is distinct from any other team in the league, with the primary colors intended to evoke Detroit's innovative and industrial spirit, matched with the resilient identity of Metro Detroiters. Meanwhile, the red accent is a nod to the city's celebrated sports history, in particular, the Red Wings, and Hockeytown's hockey stewardship in the United States for more than 100 years. The permanent brand identity, including the team's name and logo, will be announced at a later date. If you'd like to learn more, you can go to DetroitPWHL.com. And they already have merch up available for purchase in the shop as well. So if you go to thepwhl.com/shop, you can pick up your Detroit gear. Now, I wouldn't be too hasty because, again, more teams coming. So if you are looking for a new team because you don't like any of the existing ones, wait a beat because you're going to be given almost guaranteed a Canadian team here in the next 5 minutes. So it'll come out tomorrow.
It'll literally come
of
out
course
tomorrow.
come out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep. But that is all I had for news in the PWHL as of right now.
Well, I love that they are staying booked and busy in the PWHL. Now, shifting over to the NHL side, Dee, give us the state of the playoff battlefield.
Yes, I do have some updates as to our playoff standings. We were actually just talking about this before we ran the show as to damn how lucky is Carolina that they get a long rest before facing down any other opponents, because they done, and they've been done because they took care of of Ottawa early, and then they took care of the Pittsburgh, Philly Flyers.
Before you move
Same
on,
team.
can I give you a quick little stat?
Yeah.
The Carolina Hurricanes are the first team since 1987 to start with 2 consecutive sweeps.
Whoa. What a stat.
That hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah, don't make me do the math on that, because
That's
that's
crazy.
embarrassing for all of us.
39.
Yeah. So where we stand right now is that Buffalo and Montreal had a late start to their games because Tampa Bay and Montreal went to 7, as we all know. So Montreal is up 2-1 in that series. As Chris noted again before our call, they're struggling with their goaltending. And so maybe if they get that shored up, we might see this series also go to 7 for Buffalo.
I know Luukkonen is starting tonight instead of Alex Lyon. So
yeah. We'll
maybe, and they're up 1-0 right now as the time of recording. So maybe Luukkonen being swapped out for Lyon is either a way for Lyon to be like, oh shit, maybe I should start, trying to be a little better, or this is their way of being like, we have another guy who we can slot in here and just,
Yeah.
they
Listen, you gotta try something. Yeah, exactly. You have to give anything a shot, which is evidently what Anaheim did, because they were getting beat up on by Vegas, and then they were like, hey, I don't like that.
No, they just got their heads out of their asses.
They've been going back and forth. Yeah.
No, it's only been Dostal.
But I mean, they've been going back and forth between wins and losses.
Yeah, well, they need to wake the fuck up, because this is bullshit.
They win one, you win one, they win one, you win one.
They almost gave it away the other night.
They kicked your ass 6-2 the other night, and I was like,
yeah, I don't want to talk about that game. I shut that game off in the first period.
That's rough.
Yeah, it was a bad day.
No, I think we were watching that simultaneously, and I was like, yeah, maybe you should leave. Maybe I should leave.
Maybe made it to the second period, yeah.
Yeah. And then last but not least, we have the Colorado versus Minnesota matchup. Unfortunately, Minnesota is in every game is a must-win for them. Colorado got the first 2 in, Minnesota won the 3rd game, and then Colorado just won the 4th game of the series. Not their 4th game consecutively, though. Right. So, you guys play next on Wednesday at 8 p.m., and that is do or die.
Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to say it. I want the boys to prove me wrong. I'm going to take Chris's stance on trying negging a little bit. But yeah, I don't know that we can do it. I want us to. I want us to so bad.
I think this was the unfortunate timing of
But
Colorado might just be that good.
Although I
they're
will
that
say,
good, and it's really hard. Like, we can beat them in the regular season in Colorado, but for some reason we struggle doing it in Colorado during the playoff.
Playoffs are hard. That building is
Yeah.
rocking.
I will
Well, so
say,
is
you
granted,
guys
I almost
had
said the X.
the scores haven't been so severely lopsided. I mean, game 1 was 9-6, which is a high scoring game,
Yeah,
but it's not
15 goals
like
is
a
crazy.
blowout. You know what I mean? Like we
Right.
lost by 3 points, which isn't great, but it's not terrible. Game 2, you lost again by 3 points, 5-2. Game 3, you beat them 5-1. So you won by 4, and then
Which was
another
great.
5-2 score. So
yeah. So and from what I could tell, I haven't. Unfortunately, our games and my life have not been cohesive enough for me to actually sit down and watch the entire games. But I've been keeping track of the scores, and it seems to be like we score, they score, they score, we score. You know, like pretty evenly matched, which is great, but unfortunate when we can't get the leg up.
Right. Well, that's a big thing too, right? Is offense from an offensive standpoint, there is no question that these two teams are pretty well matched. I mean, there's a lot of firepower for Minnesota. There's a lot of firepower for Colorado. What I think is the biggest component right now is defensively speaking, I think the consistency of Colorado's defense and not allowing themselves to get caught on odd man rushes, not allowing themselves to lose the puck in the neutral zone, being when they need to be, I think is very much so stifling the offense of Minnesota. And it's helping out their goaltending, which is the best in the league, in my opinion. I think, again, while the Quinn Hughes pickup was great, I think there's still a little bit more that needs to be tweaked on with the Minnesota defense.
Yeah.
Well,
that's fair.
I think our defense is doing really well between Hughes and Faber. I mean, they're two of the best defensemen now. Well, they were up until this week. But
your top line is not the problem.
Right. But we've also struggled with injuries, and I think like Zuccarello and Tiernan are probably still playing hurt. You know, we've got Brodin and Eriksson Ek out. Like, we need our guys to stay healthy. I wouldn't be surprised to find out there's some other lingering injuries that they're playing through. So it's just it's a tough situation.
And injuries will catch up with you for sure, especially getting this deep into the playoffs. It's do or die right now. Like, there is no second chance here. So that's definitely shit. But like, I'm not shocked to see Carolina completely sweep Philly. They're that good. And the unfortunate side effect for either team that came out of that little Pennsylvania thing was they were going to get fed directly to Carolina. And now my thought, my thinking here now, as Dee pointed out, they have a long vacation. Is this an opportunity to see something very similar to either a tired Montreal or a tired Buffalo team? Or does this layoff hurt them? It clearly didn't the last time, you know.
But sometimes it does. Sometimes we see people come back from like an all-star break and they start playing like shit because they got a little too into party mode in their downtime. What do we see happen? It could go either way. Now, Carolina can be really disciplined, but they also are much like Boston. They tend to flop. You know what I mean? They cannot get it done.
We'll see if this could be the year they get back to the cup and win their second. But this might be their best year to have the shot. And they get through Colorado, maybe. But you're now going to get yourself into a position where you're either going to get a very tired team to play in this conference finals, or you're going to get a team that's firing on all cylinders. They're ready to go. They're locked in.
They're pumped up.
Yeah, like I think this is going to be the very exciting matchup here. I don't think whoever goes in to face Colorado is going to have a lot of a chance. Maybe 6 games at best. I don't know. I think the Avs, I'm telling you, I think the Avs are just unbeatable.
Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. We'll see. What's the record this season between Colorado and Carolina?
They've played 2 games. So
yeah. So who came out on top? I don't know.
They are 1-0-1.
Okay. Colorado is?
Yes. So, well, that'd be, both of them would be.
Well, yeah, true. But one is a win, so
a win and an overtime loss. So they've gone.
So it's been a battle every time.
Yeah. So,
which means we could be on track for a stellar Stanley Cup final.
Very entertaining Stanley Cup finals.
Yeah, I don't think that this is just Colorado's going to walk away with it. I think that if Carolina shows up all the way to that end game, I think they're out for it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And who's to say Carolina doesn't? Who's to say that Carolina and Colorado both fall apart in the conference finals? Like anything, we have seen this in the NHL. Anything can really happen.
It's sports, baby. Anything can happen.
Oh, correct. On any given day, anything can happen, especially in the playoffs. So, yeah, I think I might have to change up my thoughts on the Eastern Conference pick that I have. Damn. But yeah, Anaheim needs to be more consistent. I think Vegas is playing a gritty game. They're very aggressive on the forecheck. They're very aggressive in the neutral zone. They're very aggressive on backcheck. They will light the net up for days. If Anaheim wants to win that, they need to use their youth and speed. They need to catch Vegas on bad shifts changes. They need to catch them on breakaways, and they need to capitalize on that because Vegas will score goals. We saw that the other night. Mitch Marner had a natural hat trick. When was the last time you saw that in the playoffs? Like,
yeah, right.
I
think that Vegas Anaheim might go to 7 games.
I think so. The way that they're playing.
Which means that, unfortunately, by the time that they get to face, unfortunately, likely Colorado, they won't be tired.
Either team is going to be like shit.
Because we're guaranteed it's going to at least 6 games. So that means that Anaheim played 6 games and Vegas played 6 games, and then you have to play another 6 games. There's no short rest.
No.
And there's definitely no long rest.
The only team I didn't talk about really quickly, I don't want to hold this up forever, but the Montreal Canadiens are playing excellent hockey. Dobish is doing so well in net. I think that was the right choice over Montembeault. Dobish has been very consistent. They are playing great offense. They are catching great special teams plays. Buffalo's been getting themselves in a bit of penalty trouble. Montreal's obviously taking advantage of that. You have to take advantage of that. Otherwise, what the fuck are you doing on the power play if you're not using that to your advantage? Their goaltending woes in Buffalo is also helping drive up the score. So this might also go 7. I'm assuming it's going to go 7. But yeah, we are at a point where we have 7 very good teams.
7?
And, well, Carolina's in already, so you've got 7 teams that are still technically in the playoffs.
I had to do math. Yeah, you're right. I was like,
the Flyers got swept. We're just gonna pretend they weren't here.
No, I thought we were at 6, so I already moved somebody ahead in my mind. Is the problem?
The Wild still technically have a chance. We've seen it happen before.
They do very much.
We have seen a team blow a 3-1 lead multiple times.
Yes, absolutely.
Anyway, those are my thoughts. So
And all of this is beautifully chaotic, right? I mean, this is
Yeah.
exactly the type of chaos I expect during playoff hockey.
This is what you want to see from the
Um,
playoffs. You don't
Yeah.
want to see
right.
teams
I
just get
want to
dog
see,
walked all the time, you know?
yeah, yeah. Sweeps are fun when it's your team, right? But I want to see good matchups. I want to see tough competition. I want to see
Right.
some chippiness and chirps and that kind of
Right.
thing. Nothing out of hand. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
So we'll get to that.
But yeah, like this is the kind of chaos that I live for this time of year.
Mm.
Well, let's move on a little bit. Something that is genuinely meaningful. Chris, will you tell us about the Schaefer Open and the Cancer Support Center, please?
Well, apart from putting himself in a very, very stacked rookie class and having a spectacular rookie year, Matthew Schaefer is doing something very incredible already with his platform. For those that are unaware, Matthew Schaefer lost his mother to breast cancer in 2024. If you remember, I believe we reported on he had a nice, I believe it was like a picture sewn into his suit for the NHL draft.
The draft.
And on his jersey they put I believe it was a pink ribbon on his jersey when he was drafted to the Islanders to show their support of him and his family. So with that, on Monday he announced that he will be partnering with New York's largest health system, Northwell Health, to support cancer patients and their families. With the help of a $150,000 donation from the Islanders Children's Foundation, the hospital will open Jennifer Schaefer Child Support Center in honor of his mother. In a statement he put out, Matthews said, "My mother was someone I looked up to immensely. I remember sitting by her side while she was battling cancer, and she had always had a smile on her face. She was so full of joy. By teaming up with Northwell Health, I hope we can bring a little of her joy to others who are fighting cancer and to their families." What an incredible thing for him to use his platform for. Obviously, there's not a person here that, and probably even reading that cancer hasn't touched their lives in some sort of way. And for him to use his platform at such a young age and to want to give back, and the fact that the Islanders even ponied up $150,000 donation, that speaks such volumes. And I know a Hockey Fights Cancer night for them was huge as well. So, kid, you've got a good head on your shoulders. Clearly, your mom and dad did a great job raising you, and this is something that I think is great to hear. I think this is awesome.
Yeah.
I think that this is super important for a lot of rookies to see coming in, that they don't have to be making $800 million in their first ever contract to like make a difference. You know what I mean? Hunter Schaefer.
Matthew Schaefer?
Hunter? Yeah,
Matthew Schaefer.
Who's Hunter
Schaefer's an actress.
Yeah. Where'd that come from? Matthew Schaefer, the guy that we're actually talking about right now, he didn't get like he didn't get like an Ovechkin sized contract, right? In terms of what Ovechkin's now making. He got a sizable contract, and he still was like, I can do something. I can do something that helps honor my mother, that helps support a community that needs it. Obviously, anyone who has had anyone go through cancer knows the level of support that is needed, whether you are in a pediatric unit or a geriatric unit. No matter what, cancer fucking sucks. And so for him to come out here and be so like very like open doesn't seem like the right word, but to be so aggressive with like, here's how I'm going to do my part, I think is really important to set the standard for other rookies coming up of like, pick something and give back. You've been given this monumental opportunity to make the kind of money that most of us dream about making in a lifetime. do something with
Right.
it and start it early, which I really appreciate as well.
And to be that vulnerable. Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine going through such a happy time in his life, after losing his mom like that. That's like, I couldn't imagine that. So to be at this young age,
Mm-hmm.
that's already just being that vulnerable and emotionally mature to be like, no, I want to do this.
Right.
That is, you understand why Islanders fans and a lot of fans of hockey have just fallen in love with this kid, just because he's so he's like Macklin Celebrini, who it's like Macklin is just such a warmth of like light for a rookie. He's not even a rookie anymore, but then is someone like Matthew Schaefer, who also went through. The kid didn't even get to play his final minor league year or his final junior year.
Yeah,
He had mono and then broke his leg. Like, so
dude.
He played like 8 games last season, which is rough. And he still got picked number 1.
The only thing that sucks more than that is that I have a kid right now who broke their finger doing something not related to lacrosse at all. And so it was a pretty major break. And so the doctor's like, yeah, you're done for a couple of weeks. And so he turns around and breaks the finger on the other hand. So now both hands have broken fucking fingers.
So I broke my wrist.
He's done for months.
I broke my wrist in 8th grade. Got the cast off. 10 days later, I broke the other side of the same wrist. I thought my mom was going to kill me. She looked at my orthopedic doctor, who at that point I had visited so many times. She goes, "Can I just put him on your insurance? Is this something I can do now?"
I know. I heard about that, and I told my players, I was like, "I'm sending you all home in a bubble. Do not do anything stupid.
No
Don't
kidding.
even think about jumping on anything that bounces.
Anything
Don't
sharp,
think about anything with wheels.
pointy, stay away."
Yeah, stay away.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, what a great story, and what a great thing for Matthew to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I love to see the community show up like that,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He had this idea, and, obviously the team and other people are joining him in this cause. And that's, that's the good stuff. That's what
and
we
naming it
see.
after his mother was cool too.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
I agree. Now let's
buckle up.
Talk about some players or player who keeps the Department of Player Safety employed. Charlie McAvoy has entered the chat again. What's going on?
All right, so offside opinion this week is, do we think McAvoy is thinking 6 games well worth it after getting suspended for that slash call against Zach Benson? If you don't get the reference, fucking click off of our channel and go watch some movies. The actual quote is 2 minutes well worth it, but I figured y'all would be able to catch on. Put it in the comments if you know what movie we are referencing specifically, because there are multiple of this particular movie.
Correct.
So the specific one, pretty please. What do y'all think?
Here's my thing. At the time of this happening, there was like a minute 30 left in the game. They were getting their asses whooped. The game was over. The series was over. Zach Benson, first off, I will say Zach Benson is not 100% innocent in this. He tripped McAvoy, didn't need to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. But what's the one rule that the goalies tell you? If you retaliate, you're getting the gate. That's just what they say. Except for this situation where McAvoy, dude, Charlie's anger and his temper, it got the best of him. Overhand, I'll put the video here so you guys can see it. Legitimately overhand, like axe swung at Benson. That is. McAvoy has been in the news all week or all year, but just with injuries. This is the first time he's done something like this. It's like, holy shit. This is crazy reaction.
And it was a disproportionate reaction too. Like the joke of 6 games well worth it. Absolutely not. Because while
No.
yes, Benson did trip him, it wasn't like he tripped him and it was what prevented them from winning the game. It wasn't like he
Right.
tripped him and it caused, their star rookie player to fracture his femur. It was it was a pretty innocent tangle. It was an intentional trip to be sure, but it
Oh
wasn't
yeah.
anything that was like really he wasn't going to get all that injured. It wasn't going to affect the game anyway. And so then he just like you could see it in his eyes when you watch the video because they slow it down so well in the Department of Player Safety video about it.
Yeah.
You can see like the anger ignite in his eyes and like the red mist descend before he just like winds up and is like, ah,
And
and he
then
has
you
to go
see
through a
Zach
ref
just
to get there. It's
Yeah.
like it is so insane, and it's 100% this dude just let his emotions get the best of him.
I
I
And
will
love
it's
say,
unfortunate.
Pasta's reaction. Did you guys see Pasta's face? Pasta
no,
was right behind
no,
Benson,
but
and his eyes got really
looking
wide when he swung at him like that.
looking though at the smug ass smile on Benson's face as Charlie is coming up to him, that would piss me off too. He's got this smug, like, haha, yeah, I know I tripped you and didn't get called on it,
No, he
Oh no,
got
he
called
got
on
And
it
called
maybe
on
I'm
it.
wrong.
immediately.
Oh yeah, they absolutely
Well,
called him
okay.
on it.
They
Okay.
immediately called him on it. So he was going off the ice.
Okay.
So that he was smug about being like, I don't give a shit. I'll take 2 minutes for it. It's the end of the game.
Well,
Yeah.
plus he had
Who
a couple
Well,
cares?
that
players chirping at him
or
too.
was it like
Yeah.
smugness of, yeah, come after me, I don't give a fuck. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like
Yeah.
that could be what it was too. Um,
I think the intent of
but
what
yeah,
he was going to
you
do
can't
was
do that.
already going to happen. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like yeah, the smile at or that if he saw that, sure, that would make me want to do it even more. But I don't know. To me,
No.
when
Yeah.
he got up, it felt like the intent to slash him like that
Mhm.
was from the jump.
Yeah,
Right.
Benson's back was to McAvoy, and McAvoy was already seeing red, and you could like
Yeah.
actually see
Oh
it.
yeah, you could tell that.
Yeah,
And then yeah, Benson sees him coming and is like, "Oh shit, what? Why is this happening?"
yeah, and then takes and
Yeah.
obviously you again
Takes it.
you can't retaliate, and then you can't
Yeah.
like assault somebody on the ice.
Right.
That's like you used your stick as a weapon.
Yeah.
We've seen that. How many
Yeah.
penalties this season have we seen people getting suspended?
Oh yeah.
Evgeny Malkin is the
Mhm.
perfect. I'm pretty sure it was McAvoy who got fucking hit in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
had that happen to you, so you want to do that to somebody else?
It's one of those things where yeah, he just 100% let his emotions get in the way, but you have to know, you just do have to know that that's not going to fly ever.
No. Yeah.
Ever. Slashing doesn't fly even when you are like in the middle of an ice battle, right? Like when it is you're both going for the puck and you slash the dude, still not allowed.
Yeah.
It's still supposed to be called. That's why there's a whole fucking like penalty for it.
Yeah, and this is a situation like Ridley Gregg, like we talked about last week.
Mhm.
This team is out of the playoffs, so
Yeah.
that's what the first week and a half of 2027 season,
Mhm.
2026,
Yeah.
27
Yeah.
season. You're missing the first 6 regular season games. You can do your
Yep.
little warm up, but you're going to sit on the bench for opening night. No, I'm
Yeah.
Well, I
sorry.
mean, this
You're not even going to be on the bench. You're going to be sitting in the press box watching the game in your
Yeah.
little suit and tie. You're like, shit, I made a stupid ass decision. Yes, you did.
Yeah. It happened May 1st, so they were still in a playoff game.
Yeah,
And it just took them fucking 12 whole days to assign the penalty, which is insane to me. I don't know how
that is a
we got
long
to that.
time.
Yeah.
That is
That's
a long
very
time.
long time. That's a long ass time to wait. To be
Yeah,
like,
6.
yeah, no, you shouldn't do that.
I'm happy with
Right.
6 games. I think 6 is a good call.
I
I
do think that
warranted.
6, it's that number because of how many retaliation calls we've seen this season. I feel like this
Right.
is them sending a message of like, this is 6 games. The guy didn't even get hurt, and we're giving him 6 games because you can't
needs to
fucking do
stop.
this shit anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is they're making an example of him.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
this
But
shit
rightly
like
so.
this needs to stop. It needs
Yeah.
to stop.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
yeah.
Well, anything else on that topic before we move on?
Nope.
Okay.
No,
I just
yeah. So
wanted
what
to make
happens
sure
when you get your
everybody
shit
said
pushed
their
in a game and get
Yeah,
knocked out the
like
playoffs?
that
Guess.
is very much a go to your room, you're in a timeout kind of ruling. And it should be. That was uncalled for.
Yeah.
For the bad boys, we've got a couple. We start in Buffalo, where Beck Malenstein got dinged for goaltender interference on Jakob Dobbs. There's an
Dobesh.
accent there I don't know how to pronounce.
Dobesh.
Dobesh. How dare I not know that? The league reached into his wallet for $3,515.63, which feels like the NHL equivalent of a string finger wag. And a reminder to maybe not bulldoze the goalie next time. Malenstein plays with that crash the crease energy, but this time he crashed a little bit too hard. Meanwhile, in Montreal, Arbor Zakai, is that right?
Zakai, yeah. You had it.
Zakai. Okay, I was close enough. Shockingly, found himself in trouble again. This time for roughing Sam Carrick, earning him $3,385.42 of a fine. Honestly, that's practically a subscription fee for the way Zakai plays. If there's a scrum, he is in it. If there's a face to wash, he's the one washing it. And the league just sends him invoices at this point.
You know, that is pretty goddamn accurate, in fact. Brothers had like 200 penalty minutes this year.
Yeah,
Arbor, chill the fuck out.
Yeah, he is the bad boy of the NHL, I would say. That wraps up the fines and suspensions. It's a relatively light week, being that it's playoffs, but still enough to remind everybody that playoff hockey is not an excuse to be a bad boy. That wraps up the carnage of this week.
I'm sorry,
Now,
116
Chris,
penalty minutes this season for Arbor Zakai.
You know,
but he averages about 116 every fucking season. So,
well, at least he's not going outside of his norm. I think that's a positive thing.
Yeah, he's very, very consistent.
He's consistently bad boy.
Consistently.
I would love the next time he comes out on the ice if they just played the Bad Boys intro.
I'll put it to this way: it is 4 seasons. The lowest amount of penalty minutes he's had in his 4 seasons is 81. Every other season it's been 100 plus. That is still a lot of time in the box. Arbor, fucking relax.
He's left a book in there for himself.
We love it. We love it. You know? But I don't think we've talked about him a few times as far as fines and suspensions go, but not as many times as some other players. So I feel like he maybe lives in the penalty box.
That's exactly where he lives. The penalty boxes.
You know, at least he's not usually causing the carnage that, you know, lightens his pocketbook too much.
Right.
Now, Chris, will you please enlighten us for who our obscure player of the week is?
Well, it is time for everybody's favorite segment, the obscure NHL player of the week. Alrighty. Well, today we have a player by the name of Peter Eriksson. I bet you can't guess he's from Sweden. Born July 12th, 1965 in Sweden, this right-handed left winger was the 64th overall pick in the 1987 NHL draft by the Edmonton Oilers. He never actually saw playing time in the NHL. He spent part of one season. He played 20 games in the NHL. I read that wrong. He played 20 games in the NHL, scored 3 goals, and had 3 assists. But this was only in one season for the 89-90 season. He also spent part of that season in the minor league system before returning to play in Sweden, where he spent pretty much all of his career. He played between the Swedish 3 League, the Swedish 2 League, and the Swedish Elite League, they have a tier system in that country, much like soccer does in England and such. In the Swedish 2 League, in 106 games, he had 52 goals, 42 assists. In the Swedish Elite League, 290 games, 92 goals, 90 assists. Brother did have 262 penalty minutes. That's a nice little career chunk. He played in the Canada Cup, the Olympics, and the World Cup of Hockey, respectively, for Sweden, where he had 8 goals in international play in 13 games played. So, I mean, hey, not many people can say that they donned their country's colors for the Olympics, and Peter Eriksson can. So that is your obscure NHL player of the week.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Thank you so much. Well, now, Chris, again to you. Time to put us out of our misery here. Will you remind us of the trivia question?
I
so
will
D and
indeed.
I can guess out of nowhere what we think.
I will indeed. So,
at least
as I had said before, in the modern 16-game 4-round NHL playoff format, no team has ever gone 16-0. But can you tell me what the lowest number of losses are for a single team in the Stanley Cup playoffs?
I'm going to guess 3.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna guess 5. I've had 5 in
Ooh.
my head since you asked.
Well, D would be the closest here. In the 1988 Stanley Cup playoffs, the Edmonton Oilers took the Stanley Cup that year with a record of 16-2.
I almost said 2, but I was like, nah, that's insane. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's only losing 2 games.
In their first round matchup, they won their series against the Jets in 5. They swept in the second round. They swept Calgary. In the conference finals, they won their series in 5 against the Red Wings. And then in the Stanley Cup finals, they swept the Boston Bruins.
That is
2
insane.
games. Now, in the more recent time, since the 90s, 4 teams have gone on to win the Stanley Cup with a record of 16-4. That would be the 1993 Canadiens, the 95 Devils, the 97 Red Wings, and the 2012 LA Kings. The only teams to have ever done it prior were the 1952 Detroit Red Wings and the 1960 Montreal Canadiens. Did go 8-0, but that was obviously when there were only 6 teams and the playoffs were only 2 rounds apiece.
Right.
But yeah, but like I said earlier, as of right now, the Hurricanes are the first team since '87 to be 8-0 to start the playoffs. So they have a real shot.
Yeah, I mean, they're heading into territory that is previously unheard of if they make it to the conference finals with anything less than
1 loss.
1 loss. Yeah.
If they can make to the Stanley Cup finals in 5 games, 12-1 is a nuts record to have.
Yes. Insane.
That is nuts.
Also, they all need to go out and buy lottery tickets if they do that.
Oh, so, if that happens, yes. Yeah. No, I thought I was just like, I was looking at it and I was like, I wonder if this has ever fucking happened.
Right?
Right.
And it hasn't. So
great question though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could imagine
if you got that right.
Imagine this is the year and we talked about it.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, for those of you out there playing along, if you got that right, you are either a genius or spend way too much time online reading trivia.
Fucking nerd.
But we love you anyway. Stay nerdy, my friends.
Sure.
But that is going to wrap it up for today's episode. Thank you as always, for hanging out with us. Like, follow, subscribe, leave a review, send us your hottest takes, tell us where we were wrong or what you agree with. We will be back next week for some more playoff drama, more PWHL news, and probably more fines with the way things are going. Thanks again for being here, and we will see you next time in the Face Off Circle.